I'm glad you are able to join us for this weekly devotional. Seems as though I am running a little behind this week and trying to get some things arranged. Next week I will be out of pocket quite a bit. So I hope I get some things done beforehand so that I can put them on. This morning I want us to think a little bit about how we look at this world and the difficulties that are there. Um, it's something that we have been, as a child of God, we know they come about. We know they're there. We know they have always been there. The difficulties of life, the things that happen, the sin that goes on in the world. I want us to listen to the song, to Psalms, the 36th chapter. He says, "Transgression speaks to the wicked. Deep in his heart there is no fear of God before his eyes. For he flatters himself with his own eyes, that his inquiry can not be found out and hated. The words of his mouth are troubled, and deceit. He has ceased to act wisely and do good. He plots trouble while on his bed. He sets himself in a way that is not good. He does not reject evil." I want us to think about that idea. There are those, and there will continue to be those, who have no fear of God, who live in evil, who seek to do evil, who plan evil things. It seems like in a world that is belongs to God, this should not happen. But the fact is that sin lives in this world. For a great deal of the time, there are those, and many of those, who never seek God. They live for this idea of seeking for themselves, seeking the things that destroy or seek to destroy the ways of God. They are, let's say, so to say, servants of Satan. They live for that situation because they refuse to look any other place. They refuse God as being God. But I want us to listen as children of God. Those things bring disruption, they bring discouragement, they bring discomfort. Sometimes they bring fear as we look out into the world and we wonder where it's going, what's happening, what is going to become of this place that we see. We have to remember that we belong to God, that we are sojourners in this land. He said, "Your steadfast love, O Lord, extends to the heavens, your faithfulness to the clouds. Your righteousness is like the mountains of God. Your judgments are like the great deep. Man and beast you save, O Lord. How precious is your steadfast love, O God. The children of mankind take refuge in the shadow of your wings. They feast on the abundance of your house, and you give them drink from the river of your delights. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light do we see light." He says he's there to care for us that belong to him. He's there to provide for us that have given ourselves to him. Seeking, seeking his love, seeking his care, seeking his guidance, seeking even to do his will. He cares for us. We have to often remember that that doesn't mean that he takes these difficulties and situations in the world away, but that he's there with us as we go through them, as we live through them, as we see them, as we face them, and stand up and remain steadfast for God. In verse 10, he says, "Oh, continue your steadfast love to those who know you, and your righteousness to the upright of heart. Let not the foot of the arrogant come upon me, nor the hand of the wicked drive me away. There the evildoer lies fallen. They are thrust down, unable to rise." We still have the availability to go to God, to seek him in prayer, to seek him to give us guidance, to seek him to give us comfort, to seek him to give us strength, and maybe even to put a shield between me and those who are wicked. But this whole idea is that I belong to him. And that through all these trials, through all these difficulties, that one day if I remain steadfast in his love, if I remain steadfast in following his will, doing his will, seeking to teach his word, seeking to show others that there is a God, that I have an eternity with him where I have a place of rest. You see, we forget so often, we sing the song, this world is not my home. I'm just passing through. We're sojourners in a world that does not wish to receive us. We're sojourners. We have a home in heaven with God, and that's what we seek. But we must live through this time. And as we do, we have to remember and be willing to give ourselves over to God that he might care for us in whatever manner that he chooses. But remembering that we have that home with him in heaven when these things are done. I hope that you will take this with you today. I hope it will be encouragement. I hope you will genuinely look at yourself and say, am I serving my God as I should? Or am I following that evil man? It's sometimes very easy to do. I want to thank you for being here this morning, and may God bless.